We're going live and we're live now. Hello, everyone. Jack Aitken is back. Welcome, Jack. Good to see you again. I feel like it's been ages. Good. How are you finding this Miami track then? What's your, while we're waiting for the cars to come out the pit lane and inevitably spin off on the dirt? It's true, because I guess one of Monaco's flaws, however much I love it, is it's meant to punish mistakes, but in recent years it all seems a bit pedestrian, whereas we've actually seen people go off, kind of, I guess, a bit like Azerbaijan almost, where people do genuinely make mistakes in this sector. And what do you think to that turn? I think it's 14 and 15 looks a bit clumsy. Would you like that as a driver, or do you think it's the worst thing ever? Because from what I've heard, the worst thing ever. Oh, sorry, you've got no audio. Hang on. Why can't I hear you? This will be from my side. Person 2 Zoom. Hang on. Don't worry, this will be. This might be. Hang on, this will be my side. You're on mute. No, one sec. Try that. Can you speak now? I've got no desktop audio. Hang on. Sorry. It's a good job. We're actually early, so it's fine. I think it's my side actually. Is it? Are you sure? Because I'm not getting any desktop audio in Streamlabs. Sorry, everyone. Jack is muted. Tech glitch. No audio. Oh my god. This is great, because we've just... It always used to be like this when you did stuff with us, and you can see that we've not changed one bit. Default desktop audio. Come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. No. Why can't I hear you? Why can't I hear you? Oh, hang on. Let me try this. This could break everything. Speak now. No, I can't hear you. Oh no. Why isn't this working? Oh, now I'm speak now. Oh my word, what is going on? Please get this sorted. Hang on. Okay, right. Oh, I can hear you now, but Streamlabs can't. Speak. This is a great start. It's because qualifying's not started. That's all I'm saying. We have. It's whether I can fix it in time. Is the thing. What about now?
Hello. 1, 2, 3.
Surely that's it. Please tell me that's worked, guys. Can you hear Jack? Please tell me you can hear
Hello.
Jack.
That was my opportunity to eat a chocolate egg.
Oh, you should have. Yes, yeah, it works. Well, it works. Phew, just in time. It's fine. We've still got 7 minutes till qualifying, which is normally Matt's not
Ages.
even normally started the stream by then, so it's fine. Excellent. Right. What we were saying is Miami and what a tricky track it looks. Have you ever driven a track like Miami where it's so poor offline that it sounds like the drivers are already just, it's a one-line track, because the second you put the tiniest wheel offline, it's almost like a wet track when you're on slicks.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be partly because it's a new track.
Yeah,
and tarmac does take a while to build up the level of rubber that you need, and you also get this weird effect where some of the oils from the tarmac start to seep through, which is what was the problem when they went back to Turkey a couple of years ago. So whenever we go to a new track, you always have the same experience. The fact that it's a street circuit just makes it a little bit more tricky because you don't have that much margin, obviously.
And you've got that Baku, essentially pretty much like Baku Castle section part 2, turns 14 and 15. I think Hamilton's described it as a B&Q car park. Sonoda said it's like a Formula E track. It is pretty crazy. I mean, when we first started seeing stuff from the track, I think everyone's minds were just on the fake marina, and I didn't really look too much into the track, but as soon as they got to that sector, it is quite painful. I think
it's
the
pretty
drivers
shocking
don't seem to like it.
When you go on the onboard and you see them trying to navigate the curbs, especially, it looks super clumsy, doesn't it?
Compared to, is that going to just kill the tires, do you think? Like, is that where they get massively overheated and stuff?
Not as much as all of those high-speed sweepers. So, because especially like the corner, I don't know the corner numbers. I don't think anybody does yet, so that's fine. The corner where Bottas crashed in FP1, the really long left-hander that sort of tightens up. That's the kind of corner that kills tires, because you lean on the car and you're just asking more and more and more of the tires, and they're getting hotter and hotter, and then you take the corner. So it's like the worst thing that you can do for them. And there's a few sections like that just keep going and going and sweeping. So I think it's going to be interesting how much tire deg we get in the race.
Yes, tire deg, and also the joys of overtaking offline. A couple of drivers, think Sergio Perez and Lando Norris, both said that the racing is going to be dreadful, which I'm sure Miami aren't too pleased about.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I don't know. I just watched the W Series race, and it was a mix. Like, sometimes it was actually quite hard for the drivers to make a move, because as soon as they got close and started to put pressure on the driver in front, they were in a sequence of turns and they couldn't. There was like one line and you couldn't get alongside.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, but then that massive back straight was a good spot, and also going into the hairpin at the end of sector 2 or after the back straight was a good spot as well. And the track is super wide at both of those corners entry, so definitely lunge potential there.
Yeah, we did see a lunge in FP, I think it was FP2, where Perez stuck it down the side of Vettel, and as soon as he tried to brake off track, he just went straight on, like he didn't have any brakes at all. So hopefully not. Let's be positive.
With the support races, I think that's going to get better and better. So by the time we get to Sunday, there should be a bit more grip in the track in general. It's probably still not going to be great, but it will be raceable, I'm sure. Yeah.
Cool. So are you seeing a helicopter right now?
I am.
Good, we're still in sync. Good to know.
If people are wondering why my face keeps changing color, it's because my expert
your
lighting
TV,
it's my TV. Because the lamp in my living room is shockingly weak. So production value through the roof.
That's the WTF1 way, right?
Always, yeah, since day one.
I remember that podcast we had you sticking post-it notes on the wall to cover a stain on the wall. Those were the days. Right. So I'll read out our team predictions, and then you let me know who you think is going to be closest.
Okay.
I have gone. This is just me not jinxing. Basically, I've gone for Perez pole, Verstappen second, Leclerc third, Russell fourth, Sainz fifth. Matt's gone for Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, and Russell. Katie's gone for Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso.
Ooh.
So, after all that Mercedes hype, we've both gone for, the Ferraris and Red Bulls still at the front. Do you reckon that's what it'll be?
I don't know. I think the Mercedes looks pretty strong still, even in FP3.
Sandbagging. The sandbags are finally happening.
You never know. I do fancy Perez. In particular. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I only watched FP3 and I watched the highlights of this, but he looks really, really strong in Sector 3.
He does.
Faster than anyone else, which is mad because it's one corner. But I kind of fancy him for pole, and I think Russell.
I've gone for Checo pole, so.
I know, yeah. And I'm not just saying this to flatter you, Tommy, but I think yours might be closer.
He's been good, hasn't he, this year? It's been surprising because, especially in qualifying, I'd say, because that was his weakest sort of thing. He'd be all right in the races, but he'd be absolutely nowhere near Max in qualifying, and that's what would sort of let him down a bit. But this year, I mean, he's got a pole to his name, and he's looked pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to have just sort of crept up on it. He never seemed to make one big step where suddenly he was challenging for pole, because he's been nipping at Max's heels a couple of times. But yeah, he looks really good here. So yeah, I kind of So I'm always hesitant to bet against
Timer. Oh, the session started. I always forget to do this timer right. 17:40. Go. Okay, yeah. We have the timer, so people can sync up at home. Cars out on track for Q1.
Let's go. Who's going to be knocked out? We have Mr. Ocon out already by default.
Yeah, so he's definitely not in. I mean, that was never going to happen. Yeah. Did you see Verstappen's incident at the end of FP3? He was very lucky because that was 2 minutes before the end of the session, and he slammed the brakes on and just missed hitting the wall. That could have been
in
disastrous.
The fight section 14-15, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who's going out? Disappointingly, AlphaTauri don't seem to be on it this year. They seem to be right. I'd probably say both AlphaTauris, maybe both Williamses, but Albon might sneak in because he's looked pretty good, hasn't he? And who else have we got? It's weird. Normally you just know who's rubbish, but this year it's been surprising.
Both the Alfa Romeos and the AlphaTauris look like they could be in the danger zone along with the Williams. So
yeah,
some of them will sneak through. But Magnussen on his first lap. Let's see what
skating around already. Yeah, Mick Schumacher looks a bit more on it because I've been very concerned with Mick, to be honest. His pace has not been that good, especially when Magnussen, they say, is not really back to fitness yet, and he's just come in without a year in the car and sort of put a lot of question marks on Mick, I feel, because all he had to do was beat Mazepin essentially.
Yeah, it's a low bar, I think.
Yes. So Magnussen on his lap now had gone purple because he was the only one out, but we can't see who else is out at the moment.
Looks like a lot of the teams that are in the midfield fight or towards the bottom end,
this sliding around.
Yeah.
This section is so bizarre.
I do like it though, because it is a place where you can see the drivers driving the car. Whereas in a lot of high-speed circuits now, or even just like normal hairpins, everyone takes a very similar line, and it's very difficult to tell them apart. But there you can really see the drivers trying different things and taking different approaches, which is cool.
It reminds me a little bit of the Singapore sling. Do you remember that corner where people took it differently, and it was essentially like you could gain a lot of time if you could you were brave.
How brave do you want to be with the curbs? Because you could win a lot or you could lose a lot.
So here comes Mick. Albon goes fastest, ahead of Magnussen and Schumacher. Sebastian Vettel, not sure if he's got his pants on outside his race suit today. We'll find out. Yuki.
Yeah. Hauling that.
So we've sort of got the they've sort of almost gone out in the order of everyone's just going to go quicker and quicker, I think. Stroll goes fastest.
Really struggling again, isn't he? Bottom of the times.
Wow. Yeah, did not expect Gasly to struggle so much. There's a lot of hype around AlphaTauri at the start of the season.
They look good. Like in testing in the first race, they were really solid, but just seems to have really dropped off for them now that we've moved on from the less conventional tracks.
Yeah. Sainz fastest at the moment.
This section looks so cool.
It does. I can see why Horner said it does look very sort of Saudi Arabia with just the sweeping fast corners, but maybe not quite so crazy. So Sainz is ahead of Leclerc at the moment. It's and Danny Rick.
I wonder if Charles made a mistake there, because that's quite a long way off.
Yeah, 4/10. Well, Sainz is on it.
And, for Ricciardo to be ahead of them, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Even with the McLarens looking a bit stronger this weekend.
I'm not actually seeing that top-down view yet. You get an idea of how crazy tight that. I see why they've not done the top view though, because it's kind of covered by the road. You don't really can't really see the car.
Verstappen's half a second up. Okay. Yeah.
Do you, based on this year so far, what car do you think is quicker between the Ferrari and Red Bull? Do you think the Red Bull's quicker, but it's just been unreliable, or do you reckon it's just circuit dependent at the moment?
I think it's close enough that it's probably circuit dependent. I mean, here, that's
6/10.
Yeah, as I say that. I mean, they look really good here, but
yeah, they do.
The fact that Charles has been able to fight him as much as he has, they must be pretty close. The reliability is definitely an issue.
George Russell said he was 11 seconds up then, but it was on Gasly, not the leader. I thought they'd finally taken the sandbags off and were like, haha, just kidding.
We only
just
had to wait
joking for the first 4 races. So yes, slots in third.
Not too far away.
Yeah, so on Ferrari pace at the moment. But Verstappen...
For sure.
But that is a... Yeah, we normally tend to see Verstappen go out and not really... He doesn't tend to wind up to things. He just goes all out straight away. And then everyone sort of gets a little bit closer to him. I've noticed it happens a lot in like wet sessions and stuff where he'll bang in a lap and he'll just go for it from the off rather than winding himself in.
Yeah, he likes to hit the ground running. Whoa! Big slide from Hamilton there. That corner seems to be catching out a few people as well.
Yeah.
The way it tightens up on you.
That is... George Russell giving Hamilton a tow down the straight.
I think he was just trying to get out the way.
Get out the way. You can see how dusty it is already offline. It just looks like a completely different surface. Camera didn't know where Lewis was there.
Picked up the wrong mark.
Okay, then, second, over a second down, and Russell's half a second. So, yeah, Hamilton's struggling at the moment. But we're not going to get...
It's been quicker this weekend generally, hasn't it? A little bit.
Yeah. Mr. Saturday.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he absolutely loved that nickname of basically not scoring a point for ages. Everyone just going, "You're great at qualifying, though." Hamilton down in 10th behind Sonoda at the moment. Still 10 minutes to go, though. So who's in the drop zone? It's only going to 18 at the moment.
Good lap from
Zhou Guanyu, nice.
Up to P5.
Impressive stuff. So Alfa Romeo maybe looking decent.
They have taken the sandbags off, maybe, because they were a long way off in FP3.
So at the moment, it's looking like, Williams, Alpha Tauri, maybe an Aston.
It's that big slide for Hamilton.
Oh wow, no traction at all.
He missed the apex as well, and it's like you said, so dusty offline that I think he was always going to have problems.
It's crazy how like just the tiniest bit offline. I'm sure we're going to see now Gasly doing the same thing. Oh no, just straight line in the chicane. It is like it's a wet track.
It's just but it's when on a track, new track where there's no rubber offline, because even on tracks that are old, even if it's offline, you will have rubber there just because of the number of cars that have passed around the lap. Combine that with all the dust from all the construction that's been happening, and it is
that's true. Will they
half a second up? Well, science. It just seems like in a lot of the sessions, the times really tumble.
It gets quicker and quicker.
Yeah,
and not even by little bits, by huge margins. So it's going to be a last across the line scenario, isn't it?
Almost like a wet or a dry track. Lots of curb there.
I'd love. Do you remember when they used to do those? What you're talking about with the, drivers doing different things through that? I'd love if they did that ghost car comparison that they used to do, and you could see a few different lines. That would be quite interesting to see.
Because I think, there's definitely some guys who are attacking the curbs a lot more, and others who are just like, I've noticed Leclerc just almost drives around the curb. He doesn't even bother with it.
Yeah.
Good luck from Sainz.
Yeah, and McLaren's up there now from earlier. Leclerc's lost a bit of time, but no, he hasn't. So slow, not quickest in the middle sector, but still 0.6 quicker. That's a decent lap from Stroll as well. But the track's getting quicker and quicker.
The Aston does look pretty decent this weekend, so maybe both of them could get into Q3. Yeah. It's funny, it's swinging around a lot, isn't it? Verstappen looked really quick at the start, and now he's not quite on Leclerc's pace.
So Alonso down there at the moment. Not even noticed Hamilton's in the elimination zone at the moment. Wow. Surely not again.
We'll see. But the Haas's are at risk as well, considering we thought they were looking a bit stronger.
Yeah, their pace has been strange. There have been some tracks that are really suited. I think they were really suited to Bahrain as well. That was their chance to get big points immediately. So at the moment in the elimination zone, we've got Hamilton, Gasly, Latifi, Albon, and Ocon, who obviously is out. If you missed that, binned it in the wall.
It was almost exactly the same as Carlos's crash in P2 yesterday, wasn't it?
But how close they are.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's just using all the track, right?
Yeah.
Oof.
That was barely a kiss.
Here we go. So here's Hamilton's. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So mistake from Hamilton. I wonder, was that his second hot lap, which would probably explain why he's down in the elimination zone. Pressure on again.
I don't know if they'll get a third lap out of that set, or if he's now going to have to use an extra set, which is always a bit annoying. But yeah, I think both of the Williams, unfortunately, look like they are going to be struggling to get out of that elimination zone.
Oh, here's Hamilton on the lap now. Let's see, he's not a little bit. Not a great first sector though.
That looked nice into the hairpin. Good.
Oh,
late. Oh, he's not finishing.
Okay, not finishing the lap.
I can imagine. And look, he's desperate to get by because he knows he's short on time.
Alonso has blocked Hamilton in the pits before, of course.
Yeah,
famously.
Yeah, flashbacks to Budapest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's
so
really
yeah,
annoying.
they've got to go for it now.
Yeah.
Pressure's on then, because another mistake like that and he's out.
Yep.
And Gasly as well.
How many times has he been in that situation this year?
Is almost unheard of. I did not see this coming at all. Like Matt somehow, his prediction was that Mercedes would struggle, and me and Katie were just like, nah, it's Mercedes.
It's a good call. I did not see it coming either. Albon was flying over those curbs in the chicane there, but he's a tenth and a half up, could sneak his way out. I don't think it's going to be enough come the end of the session.
Yeah, because he might just get out, but then you'd assume
they'll shuffle back down.
They'll shuffle back down. Here he goes then. Can he beat Tsunoda? Up to 14th for now. Yeah. So Hamilton down to 17th.
Gasly getting a mega toe off the Ferrari. So he should improve as well. Lots of traffic.
Yeah, traffic could be a big problem as well in this session. Yeah. So Gasly's, you'd think, safe up there. Tsunoda, P5. Wow. Yuki's finally sort of getting it together a bit now. I
think that was Leclerc who just locked up and went straight at turn 1, so he's messed up that lap.
Russell only 6th, so behind Tsunoda. Magnussen only 13th, so he's going to be at risk, I'd say, with that.
He has time to do another lap, though. Wow, Latifi getting on the power very early then. Let's see how far he can get up.
No, it doesn't even improve, so that's... Is he backed off? Because if he has, that's probably... Yeah.
He's got time to do one more. Look, everybody else is coming out to do that.
We're going to get a lot of traffic in that turns 14 and 15, I think.
Yeah, and on the back straight as well. Everyone's going to be backing off to make space.
Even still with these new cars where the slipstream effect is not quite as good, we still get this backing up. It feels worse than it's ever been. Oh, is this Hamilton on his hot lap? Yeah, with loads of traffic. So
out of sync with everybody.
That's not going to be... He's going to... Yeah, let's hope he doesn't catch anyone in the... I keep wanting to call it the castle section, the chicane.
The not castle section.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of distractions. They're getting out the way fine, but I'm guessing that's quite distracting when you're on a lap.
Yeah, it's just another thing to think about. You really don't need it, especially at a track like this where you have so many blind spots and blind corners. But he's onto the back straight now, so he should be fine.
Half a second, so it's not it's not miles.
I mean, he'll probably be fine, but jeez,
it's a bit. He's not. It's not exactly flying. He's gonna get. No, he's not gonna get traffic, or is he?
No, he'll be all right.
Yeah, get a slipstream from the Aston a little bit. So Hamilton crosses the line and goes 5th. Okay, a lot quicker than I thought actually.
Yeah,
it didn't.
actually looking at the times, it is.
So Russell's in the pits, so he should be fine.
Yeah, but he's only 3 or 4 tenths ahead of the drop zone. So if the track improves a lot, they could be in trouble. Anyone that doesn't improve on this last lap.
Zhou Guanyu's been blocked. This is ridiculous. So that's Zhou Guanyu's lap ruined, so he's out. Angry Team Radio coming. There'll be some penalties perhaps there. I said he'd make, my prediction from our podcast was that he'd make Q3, so I've jinxed him there. Of course I have. Standard stuff.
Yeah, in those situations, it's quite rare that they'll hand out penalties because it's so easy to say that there was a big group of cars and they were all affecting each other.
Yeah, exactly.
They usually get away with it.
Yeah, you get away with it if you're like with loads of other cars around you because they can't just pick one person at fault. But it's still not really fair, is it, on the person that's... So...
Not many people improving, actually.
Magnussen is... And Alonso. One of us put Alonso... Katie put Alonso in her top 5, so...
I think Alonso's improving now, so should be okay.
Just risking it a bit. Bottas is under pressure a little bit.
Yeah. I would expect Vettel to have some pace, so
yeah, Bottas is going to be at risk, perhaps.
With his 5 million helmets this weekend. He's got, have you seen that?
Yeah.
He's got one helmet for each day.
I feel like that's just there to just trigger people that don't like the helmet swaps.
Maybe, yeah.
Latifi improves but doesn't get out of 19th.
Is that everybody? Or
so Magnussen's in the pits. Bottas is... Yeah, that is everyone, unless Albon is on a lap. I don't think so. So, drivers out. Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Alex Albon, Nicholas Latifi, and Esteban Ocon, who didn't do the session. So, Magnussen's probably the surprise there for me.
Yeah.
After me talking about Mick.
They were potentially on for a Q3, but don't know what happened there. Like you say, they run a bit hot and cold, don't they?
It's a good lap from Stroll, to be fair to him, up in 7th. Aston Martin, it is. It's
from Hamilton all the way down to the drop zone. It's 4 tenths. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Q2 is going to be a big fight.
Because I think anyone really could get in. If you look at that. Bottas lucky, people are saying. But they just don't seem to have the pace to improve anyway.
No, I think I didn't see was Joe improving on that lap. I think he had a green sector and a yellow one, but I can't remember. They didn't look super strong, that's for sure. It's going to be hard for... I think Hamilton's going to struggle to get into Q3.
You reckon?
Yeah, because he just managed to get a good lap in at the end when the track was improving.
And that's like Russell hadn't done a lap, had he?
He didn't do a third run. Most of the top 10 probably didn't take another set of tyres. So
I thought that was slightly risky from Mercedes there. But they were all right, but we've seen that before where teams have taken a risk and then it just gets worse and worse and they slowly tumble down, the track improves. And so Ricciardo faster than Norris as well. Didn't notice that. We'll see if... I mean, it's only the first session.
Yeah, but it's like what you were saying with Verstappen being on it from early in the session. Some drivers definitely build into it.
Yeah.
And those more on that end of the scale, so we'll see. But Daniel's been looking better this weekend, relatively.
I think he's looked all right this year so far as well. Obviously, like in Imola, he got taken out. Well, he took Sainz out, sorry. But he was obviously right behind Lando in qualifying, which is not what we saw last year. A lot of the time we saw Lando somehow putting it in like P5 or 6, and then Danny Rick in 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. So are you shocked no one crashed in Q1? I am actually.
A little bit, yeah.
It does tend to happen though, doesn't it, where everyone, you get into the session and there's about 100 red flags in all the free practice sessions, and everyone goes, this is going to be crazy, and then it just isn't.
Yeah, there's Zhao complaining on the radio.
So many cars blocking me in the last sector. We need to report this blank.
I think it's like that. There's so many cars there that they're going to really struggle to attribute blame to.
Yeah.
That's just a bit unlucky, unfortunately. But that's the risk when you go out of sync with the other drivers. Hamilton was lucky not to have that situation.
Yeah, he could have easily had it.
Yeah.
Because you'd think sometimes, I guess it's risk versus reward, because sometimes you could get a completely clear lap, and then other times, like we're saying with Hamilton's lap, just constant distractions where you're having to pass people.
Yeah.
And even though they're getting out of the way, when you're flying past someone, I speak as if I'm a racing driver, you're the racing driver, so you would know, not me, but I imagine that's extremely distracting. I mean, even when it's on like an F1 game or whatever, you there's always that slight bit of hesitation turning into a corner when you've just passed someone, because you're not quite in the zone, are you?
Yeah, it's just having that extra object on your peripheral vision or on the landscape when you're really just trying to focus on the corner, and it's such a, you're working with such fine margins that any distraction can be quite difficult to get over. So some drivers definitely struggle more with it than others, but I think here as well, because of the it's always in the back of your mind, probably with blind sweeping corners, you're always a little bit worried what you're going to find on the other side. And if you see that white flag of a car slow ahead, or your engineer tells you that's a bit of traffic coming up, that's going to be playing on your mind as well. So it's kind of the last thing that you want.
So, timer. 15:00. Not used to being in charge of this timer. Okay, so we are getting ready for Q2. What are you saying then? Hamilton in or out?
I reckon he'll do it, but not by much.
10th.
Yeah, 10th.
Yeah, 9th or 10th or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
What do you think?
I could see it as well, him sort of getting through in 9th or 10th. It's strange to see him struggle so much. And it's just so odd after him being dominant for so long.
Yeah. But it shows how easily a driver and car combination can go wrong. Because clearly the car is working better with George. But that doesn't mean that Lewis is not the talent that he has been for the last decade. It's just
exactly, he's
clearly not in the right place with feeling comfortable with it. So
what's your take on it? I've heard this a lot, and it's something that I think could even also go back to Sebastian Vettel and Danny Rick, when in 2014 the Red Bull was nowhere near as good as it was, but it was still a decent car. And essentially you had Sebastian Vettel probably driving one of the worst cars he's ever driven. Yet for Daniel Ricciardo, it was probably one of the best cars he's ever driven, because he'd come from a Toro Rosso. Do you reckon there's anything in that with the Russell situation, or is it just the fact that he's just got on top of this car better at the moment?
I don't know. I kind of want to say no, just because even though it's the Mercedes is relatively worse this year. Objectively, it's still a Formula One car. It's still very good, and it's a regulation change, so all of the cars will have changed a lot. But I think there might be a mental aspect to it when, you know, you're used to seeing your name always P1 or P2 or P3 at the worst in Lewis's position, and then suddenly you're fighting for the second half of the top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe that's much more of a foreign situation for him than for George, who's coming in. He's used to scrapping for those last points, and even now he's sort of punching above that target.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something more on the mental side than just in terms of like, oh, he's driving a car that is worse than he's used to, because I don't really buy into that so much.
So we've got drivers doing their hot laps now. As is normally the case with this session, we don't see the timer for a while. So the timer is on now. Mick Schumacher goes fastest, but he's the only one to do a lap. We're going to have the Ferraris go a lot quicker, I'm assuming now. Let's see who's on top between Sainz and Leclerc. Leclerc.
29.7.
So what's Sainz going to do? Oh, ahead. Wow. So Sainz, I think it's quite surprising that Sainz is looking ahead of Leclerc, because I think a lot of people, including myself, feel like he's maybe overdriving the car to try and make up the deficit. And that's probably where the mistakes are coming in. But you'd think his confidence would have taken a knock after that crash. But
when I see his onboard, Carlos's, it doesn't look like he's driving badly at all. Like, he looks smooth, and he's not visibly overdriving or making mistakes. It just seems maybe he's just, you know, not quite in sync with the car, and that's where the mistakes are creeping in. But he does seem to be able to pull out a lap still. So, but they're both now half a second behind the rest.
Verstappen's gone half a second quicker than both of them, and Sergio Perez has slotted into second for almost half a second off Max. So so far Max not having any trouble with missing almost all of Friday.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a very impressive recovery.
So here's our first look at Hamilton. Purple final sector. Interesting. So currently on the pace of the Ferraris. Yeah. Wow. Oh, trying to get some slipstream, Danny Rick, down the main straight. Is his car
really like his helmet?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Ace Ventura. What a film. It's just very Danny Rick, isn't it?
Yeah, very on brand.
So how's Danny Rick going to do? Oh.
Not ideal. Some guys, they might be on... No, they'll all be on new sets. I don't think any of them will be using old tyres.
So Russell's still in the pits. I wonder if he's saving tyres? I don't know.
He did go out, and then he boxed at the end of his first lap, so I'm not sure if that was because he was on an older set, or if because they've now found an issue. He's back out now anyways. We'll see where the AlphaTauris can go.
6th.
Not bad.
Great lap from Tsunoda. Gasly, 6th. So
hey, just ahead.
Yeah, just ahead. So AlphaTauri doing a lot better after I said that I thought they seemed to almost be the bottom of the midfield. I'll take that jinx.
Yeah. Let's see where the Aston can go. I still think that the Aston could be on for a good result today.
Yeah, it's not looking anywhere near as bad as what it was in, was it Saudi, where they were absolutely awful, and obviously Melbourne as well.
They also seem to be very up and down, to be honest, track to track. But yeah, this weekend they've looked pretty solid.
I wonder how much that's just the midfield being super close and just slightly favouring different cars.
Now from between Gasly to Stroll, it's super, super tight. Neither of the Astons going super quick there.
Bottas has put himself in P7. That's more.
That midfield is crazy close. Look at that, from Gasly down to Stroll.
Yeah, so we've got Gasly, 0.926. Then you've got Bottas, Alonso, Tsunoda. Annoyingly, I don't know why it gives you that time for Norris, because then I can't work out how close he is, but
it's
within a tenth. Yeah, so the elimination zone is crazy close. Here's George then. So he's running on his own.
Yeah, I think they might have had a problem on that first set, or maybe they did it on purpose to find clear track. I don't know.
Ooh, bit of a moment
Mercedes
there.
looked awful over the bumps.
Yeah.
Still.
This, big snap. I don't know how he saved that.
That was a good save. Yeah.
His first sector, he's backed off.
He backed out, yeah, because he knows the rears are going to be too hot. That's the thing. As soon as you get a slide, especially that early in the lap, if you keep pushing, that's the kind of thing that causes accidents, like the one that Mick had in Jeddah.
Yeah, and, it reminds me so much of Saudi, that first sector.
Yeah, and it was actually the same for Carlos. Yeah, that was a big one. For Carlos, when he crashed yesterday, he had a bit of wheel spin coming out of the previous corner, and he just went full send into the next one, expecting the grip to be there, and it wasn't.
So can Leclerc get anywhere near Verstappen?
No purples.
Nope.
But let's see.
Wow. The jinx.
No purples.
Yeah.
Jax.
Yeah, exactly. You just it's part of the WTF1 DNA. You just appear in a video and you just have this jinxing power that just appears. So yeah, Leclerc goes fastest, only purple in the final sector, 0.07 ahead of Verstappen. So could be a good fight for pole, although I guess the track evolution, and we shall see.
Maybe, yeah, but it should be relatively close. I hadn't noticed the headrest for the AlphaTauris. That's pretty cool.
So they've kept that crazy show car. Loads of teams have done show cars and then obviously not actually used them, but touched the wall a little bit. I mean, that was very much a little bit. Oof.
Surprised that even
noticed.
I would have told someone about that. Yeah, I would have kept quiet.
Yeah. So Russell.
Only
yeah. Interesting. So all that talk of Hamilton, is it going to be Russell going to be the one struggling to get?
Not Mr. Saturday, surely. He'll pull it back.
He's going to look at that sector. That is crazy.
So slow through that chicane.
So weird seeing road cars as well, just driving alongside. So he's down. He's currently not making the top 10 as it stands.
That's odd.
I didn't see this coming because he was ahead of Hamilton. Well, he wasn't ahead of Hamilton, but he looked quicker than Hamilton in Q1. But Russell...
I wonder if there is some sort of an issue that they're carrying from that first run.
Fine. So Mercedes do seem to be quite good in that final sector.
Yeah, but it's only by a tenth. Like he jumps up the order.
Still super close. He's in that mix of a tenth can.
Because look, Norris is 9 thousandths off Tsunoda. Stroll less than a tenth off Tsunoda. Mick Schumacher's another half a tenth behind him. It's crazy close.
Yeah,
that's
literally about 2-3 tenths is the difference between 13th and 6th. That's wild.
No improvement for Mick.
So yeah, both McLarens out at the moment. Hamilton's on a decent lap.
Yeah. just trying to make double sure that he's going to be fine here.
That corner looks very Sochi like a mini one.
Yeah.
That is so clumsy. Here we go then. Where's Hamilton?
Not improving.
No, that's not going to be an improvement. Here comes the porpoising. Is it that bad? Oh,
doesn't look
a little
too bad.
bit. Not.
It's a lot better than it looks in practice.
Yeah. Yeah, FP3 kind of came back again.
But there's a bump about halfway down the straight, and the porpoising definitely can be set off by bumps. So you can be fine, and then if you catch the bump wrong, it will just go crazy.
So 2 minutes to go. Charles Leclerc fastest from Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Gasly, Russell, Bottas, Alonso, Tsunoda, and Tsunoda is 0.003 of a second clear of Norris, who's currently in the elimination zone, and then Stroll not far behind, Mick Schumacher, Vettel, Ricciardo. It's genuinely anyone's, like,
nail-biting stuff.
Yeah, anyone could get out of this,
Yeah,
and anyone could be knocked out, other than the top two. But in terms of that 6th down, 7th down,
yeah,
so what can Vettel do?
Makes a mistake here, then they're going to pay for it big time. Looks pretty neat so far. Yeah, missing a bit of pace though.
So yeah, Vettel's struggling compared to Stroll at the moment.
Yeah.
Into the tricky sector. Is going to get traffic? No. Should be okay.
Everybody should be pushing now, hopefully. So should be fine. Bit wide out of there. Yeah, doesn't look like a great lap. I was waiting to get jinxed on the sector 2 time. Unfortunately not. Yeah, he's missing a bit.
Stroll, however, is quicker than Tsunoda, so not by much.
Yeah,
but just enough to get through. But
from what we've seen, that could be it. That could be the gap. Bottas improving as well.
Russell's pitted, so
he could.
Russell could be at risk here, because Vettel Russell could be out here. 8th. Stroll goes 6th. Russell's in trouble here. Russell's 9th now. Bottas goes 5th. Surely Alonso or someone's going to have a lap in here. It's very close. Norris. Is Norris about to knock Russell out?
I think he could do it.
Yeah, 3rd. Wow. Mr. Saturday has gone. Tsunoda. Oh, he's going to be out. I don't think he's going to get through with that. Surely Gasly is going to improve. Alonso 11th.
Alonso, wow. Wasn't expecting that.
So where's Gasly? Gasly's finished.
That's
so
it.
He's... Oh no, Danny Rick's still on a lap. So... Alonso... Oh, he might do it. Can he knock him out? This is close. I don't think Vettel's on another lap.
Every 100 counts, because look how tight it is down to 13.
Oh my word, that is so close. Yeah, 2/10 between Stroll in 8th and Vettel in 13th. Here comes Danny Rick. Oh wow, I only improved to 14th. That's not... Yeah, that's 2021 spec Danny Rick with Norris in 3rd.
7/10 quicker than Ricciardo. That's a big gap.
So all that talk of Hamilton washed, and we've got Russell in out in Q2. Shocker.
And all that talk about Ricciardo being relatively better, and he's out.
We've jinxed everyone.
This is not... Yeah.
Wow. So Alonso, Russell, Vettel, Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher in the elimination zone, which means that Matt, me, and Katie all have a driver. Or the driver that we said would make it through and challenge, has not gone through. So our predictions are not going to be spot on, but it does seem like it is a case between the Ferrari and the Red Bull still.
I can't believe how close it is in the midfield. I've not seen timings that tight in quite a while, and it's not like it's not a technical lap. There's a lot of places to gain and lose time, so it's impressive that they're that close.
Yeah, people said as well that this could be such a crucial qualifying session if the race does prove to be that you literally cannot go offline to even attempt to pass qualifying. This could be, like Monaco-esque qualifying.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think
in DRS, if someone's a lot quicker, you think they'd be able to get by on the straight and stuff.
Yeah, but the DRS is going to be really strong on that back straight, so I think there will be opportunities, and I think there are going to be problems with overheating the tyres as well, depending on who gets a bit overexcited and who manages to make them last a bit longer. So there'll be opportunities, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, Bottas has had I did not expect Bottas to make it in. Decent from him.
Are you sticking with Checo as your man for pole after what we've seen?
I think it'd have to be a mistake from Verstappen, but
yeah,
I've basically just jinxed Verstappen into a mistake now.
And Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc is looking good. I think if it's a normal session, you'd think it would be between Leclerc and Verstappen again.
Yeah, I'd say Verstappen is looking the stronger of the two at the moment. But they have been going back and forth a little bit, so still up for grabs.
Impressive stuff from Lando as well, given...
Yeah. I don't think he'll be that high up at the end of Q3, just because he did the lap quite late on when the other guys went. The rest of the top five, I don't think, went for another lap.
So yeah,
Russell saved by George.
Yeah. But just struggled in that session, didn't he? Oh, and oh, my word, it almost, the porpoising there looks like you could almost get a tank slapper and just spear into the wall. How violent it looks. I mean,
yeah,
it's mad.
It was always going to be an issue bringing ground effect back, unfortunately.
Imagine picking Russell for top 5. I know, right? Imagine putting him in the top 4 ahead of Sainz. What an idiot I am. So, timer. Right, I'm going to lose my voice in this section, so I need to get a drink, and just so you've got something to do, I want your top 10 in order while I go get a drink.
Just to keep me occupied. Okay, all right. I reckon it's going to be... This means I have to remember who's made it through to Q3. I'm going to go Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Bottas, Who else has made it through?
I'm back. Stroll? Did Stroll make it?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, George doesn't look happy.
He's doing his power walk. Yeah. I got as far as Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Norris.
So we've both changed our mind now on the Perez poll.
Yeah. Sorry, Checo. And then I put Bottas, and then I can't remember who else made it.
Oh yeah, the AlphaTauris.
Oh, Gasly.
I think they're going to be 9th and 10th, aren't they?
Yeah. No pace this weekend.
So they've been a bit anonymous this year, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a shame because I think Tsunoda's made a step forward.
Yeah, big time.
So, and we know that Pierre's strong. So it's always nice to see him doing well.
Bottas's second helmet of the weekend?
Not sure about that one.
No. I'm not the biggest fan of Bottas's helmets personally. They're a bit
I really liked his was it the helmet
Kota Austin? Oh, Melbourne, which was the Melbourne one. Just the C one with
it was the one with the C, which is
Yeah.
super simple, but the colours were really, really nice.
Yeah.
Which I've got a lot of time for. But yeah, generally they're okay.
Everyone's done a special helmet design for this race, pretty much. I think it's pretty much only the Ferrari guys that haven't. There's not many people that haven't gone for. Everyone probably thinking they're really original, like, oh my god, I'm going to change my helmet to a pink and blue fade. There's the infamous Marina.
I really don't understand that, but I know we're not going to rehash old topics.
No.
So. I was thinking though, they had a shot of some people watching from the boat, and I was just thinking, wouldn't it be really strange to be sat watching from a boat that is completely
still? Yeah.
Still? Yeah.
Oh my god, timer, idiot. Sorry. 10, right. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That Red Bull banner at that turn is just asking to be memed. What's with the mermaids as well? I'm sorry, that's just so bizarre.
I don't know. I think that's a hospitality unit, so I guess it was somebody's bright idea.
Interesting.
Should be hostesses in mermaid suits, or maybe they're just doing it for fun. I don't know. Okay.
Here we go then. So first runs winding up.
You can already see them backing off, going onto the back straight to get space.
Leclerc first out then. First to do a hot lap. What can he do? That Ferrari looks fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Big fan.
Looks on rails as well through there.
Looks good, yeah.
So nothing to compare it to at the moment. Love this live speed thing. It's like, it's cool, but also, okay, cool.
Yeah, we know that F1
cars are fast, yeah. So Sainz is quicker in the first sector.
Yeah, half a tenth quicker he went. So
this is impressive from Sainz. I did not see Sainz. I thought he might be a bit shaken from his crash, which is why I put him down in fifth. But he's doing well so far.
No, he's on it. Fair play. Tidy from Charles, but I don't know, didn't look.
Just someone in the comments, Kieran says you've got mermaids in real water and then a fake harbour with boats. It's quite amusing. Here we go then. So Leclerc through the final corners. And shock. First across the line, he goes fastest. But what will Sainz do? Is Sainz
just watching Verstappen's on board looks pretty pretty quick so far, but see what the time is.
So on board with Verstappen now. Don't know how much quicker he's gone. We just see that he's purple in sector 2. Oh,
bit of a slide.
Bit of a moment.
Bottas P3 at the moment.
Still enough for first though. Oh my word, that is close. 0.0. Perez is, not a great lap. We've jinxed Perez.
Yeah.
So he's half a second off, but Verstappen, Leclerc and Sainz are 0.08 apart. Very nice for pole. Hamilton behind Bottas.
Gasly
is... Tsunoda's been surprisingly on it. I mean,
because there's been a little bit of talk about that Red Bull seat again with Gasly, hasn't there? In the last month, or just started to pick up again. And I think Helmut made one of his famous remarks. Is it possibly a bit of mounting pressure there?
Just the word Red Bull has just made him lose all pace. Just instantly.
He doesn't even have to join the team this time.
Yeah, just the thought of it. I don't know, because he was on it last year. He's one of the stars of the year, really. Although you never know how good that car was with someone that wasn't a rookie that was bidding it in almost every race. So, I guess you could argue that.
I don't know. You feel like Tsunoda still would have been able to have the pace at some point.
Yeah.
If the car was that good. But I think he did genuinely do an impressive job, and just the way that he was racing as well was really, really solid every weekend. But now, he's just very average at the moment, isn't he?
So here we go.
So it's a big gap between the top 4 and the rest of the field.
Not quite got that midfield madness this time. They're quite separated at the moment. I imagine Norris might have a bit more pace in him because he's currently over half a second off Bottas in 5th.
Now, a lot of the guys in the bottom half of the session will have had old tyres for the start.
Yeah.
And they'll be putting a new set on now. So that might bring things a bit closer together.
So you're still saying Verstappen?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to say Leclerc just because I can never predict Verstappen for pole because I always jinx him. But it's going to be close. This is a good quali actually. I didn't expect it to be this close between. Mercedes are not there though. They've definitely.
I'm still a bit mystified with what
people were really convinced about them being better, even if they weren't going to win. They were better, but it doesn't look any better than the other races, really.
I mean, George has looked better at times, but then he was just nowhere in Q2. It was really weird.
Conspiracy theory. So this is the everyone's favourite bit of quali, where they all just wait in the garage until the last minute.
Some lovely scenic shots of the car park.
Timer has stopped, has it?
No.
Oh, it has actually. Hang on. Why has the timer stopped?
Time standing still because we have such an epic battle for pole. You've got to love American fans.
They are so very extra, aren't they? Time has gone. Right.
That's the
Now,
best way to describe it, yeah.
something to keep me on my toes. Hang on.
Okay, here we go. Battle for position.
So I am working to get the timer working as the first cars come out for the final run. Do capture.
Red Bull leaving it a little bit later than the other guys, which they seem to do fairly often, actually. Try and get the absolute most out of the track evolution.
The time has gone.
Do you want me to count down manually? 2
I
minutes.
could just get it on my phone, couldn't I, and just hold it at the screen. For whatever reason, we've got 1 minute and 50 left. Don't know why the time has stopped, but what I can do here we go then. Verstappen's going to be last across the line.
I think he might have the AlphaTauris behind him, but they don't really count. Whereas the Ferraris are going to be one of the first to do their laps. So we're going to have a little bit of a weight on our hands.
I just hope they don't show the where sometimes they'll just show the front car and then not everyone else. Right. Hopefully you can see that. We have to persevere. I've got the timer on my phone. I'm just going to hold it in front of the screen so you've got a timer. The things I do for this watch along. So Verstappen currently leading from Leclerc. Leclerc's on his lap now. What's he going to do? Can he go purple? This is where Ferrari have looked quite good.
A little bit of a wiggle on the exit of the right-hander, but not too bad.
Oh, he's fastest in the first sector. What can Sainz do? Because he's been
2.5 tenths up. Carlos
did not see that coming. Leclerc. What a story this would be if Sainz out of nowhere manages to bag pole. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming.
Don't say it.
The jinx. I put him 5th. That was the jinx. There we go. 0. This is it. Leclerc 2.5 tenths up in sector 2. Oh, Sainz has lost a bit of time.
Very close between the pair of them now.
Verstappen's got a problem? Or has he just backed off? Verstappen's backed off his lap.
He's backed off, yeah.
So this is it. This could be Ferrari 1-2.
Here we go.
Leclerc goes fastest. Leclerc gets pole.
Carlos
Sainz. It's P2. Ferrari 1-2. What happened to Verstappen? Wow.
Did he make a mistake or did he touch the wall? Hamilton P5.
Wonder what happened to Max there. I've not seen. Is this? Yeah, he's.
Bottas P4.
Oh my word! He's split the Red Bulls. Wow.
I think Perez might still be completing his lap though. Let's have a look.
They've not picked him up. This could be a chance for Checo. Yeah. Oh, he wasn't far off Max in the end. Wow, what a lap from Bottas, P5.
Yeah.
Gasly's shot up there.
P7. Good effort.
Sonoda, P9.
Norris ends up P8. It's a little bit disappointing.
Wow, I'd love to know what happened to Verstappen there. We didn't see it. We just saw him cruising.
Come on, director. Do us a favour.
Yeah, show us what happened. So we've got Leclerc, P1, Sainz, P2, Verstappen 3rd, Perez 4th, Bottas 5th, Hamilton 6th, Gasly 7th, Norris 8th, Tsunoda 9th, Stroll 10th. There's been a lot of jinxing going on today. All of us put a Red Bull pole, and it was a Ferrari 1-2. The WTF1 jinx has...
like we said, I mean, it's super impressive from Sainz to recover from his crash.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, big snap! Just as
lucky to have some runoff there.
He was. I mean, he was asking a lot of the car there to take that curb at such high speed.
Going for another worldy lap.
Taking every time, but
yeah. Wow. So pretty good for the race, I'd say, because normally when Verstappen's the one behind, normally that tends to be the better race because he tends to go for it. So, and maybe sometimes they can look a bit quicker. So fascinating race tomorrow if they're actually allowed. Bottas, as someone in the comments just said, Bottas beating Hamilton in qualifying in an Alfa Romeo. It's just hilarious that he's been waiting to get one over on Hamilton and he's doing it now in an Alfa Romeo.
Do all the Bottas memes.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Well, Charles Leclerc pole. Thank you very much, Jack. It's been lovely to talk to you again. It's been too long. And we'll have to do something again soon. Like a podcast or a video again.
Happy to be back with the WTF1 gang.
So and your jinxing power. You've now learnt the power of jinxing with us.
Yeah,
so
let's just be thankful that neither of the Williams drivers have had any issues with COVID this year.
Is that your final jinx to end the...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cool. All right. Thanks very much, Jack. I'm going to end it there. So thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
End stream.